The 6 foods that cause belly fat to build up. Belly fat develops when your liver becomes overloaded with fat, which eventually begins to overflow and wrap itself around your internal organs. This type of fat is known as visceral fat, and it can create serious health issues because it interferes with the normal function of organs such as your heart, pancreas, intestines, and gallbladder. The more visceral belly fat you carry, the greater your risk of developing high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, poor circulation, and widespread inflammation throughout the body. Visceral fat is also metabolically active, meaning it releases inflammatory chemicals called cytokines. These substances damage your cells and make fat loss increasingly difficult over time by creating insulin resistance. Belly fat is most commonly driven by a high carbohydrate diet, especially from consuming excessive amounts of sugar, starch, and fructose. It can also be caused by inflammatory foods that injure the liver, leading to fat spilling over into the abdominal area. On top of this, elevated cortisol levels, known as the stress hormone, stimulate the storage of both visceral and subcutaneous fat around the midsection. In this video, you'll discover the 6 worst foods that contribute to visceral belly fat, so you can begin eliminating them from your diet. I'll also explain how stress leads to belly fat accumulation and what steps you can take to correct it. Just a quick reminder, this video is intended for educational purposes only, so please consult your doctor if you have any medical concerns. Trans fats. One of the most harmful contributors to belly fat is trans fats, also known as hydrogenated oils. These include soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, cottonseed oil, sunflower oil, and margarine. They are widely used in fast food, restaurant takeout, and nearly all packaged foods found in grocery stores. Always check the ingredient labels. Although they are marketed as vegetable oils, they are actually manufactured from heavily processed grains using chemical solvents that are toxic to liver cells. These oils are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids, which increase inflammation throughout the body. This inflammation promotes fat accumulation inside the liver, which eventually spills over into the abdominal cavity. Instead, prepare your own meals at home using healthier fats, such as cold-pressed avocado oil, extra virgin olive oil, and grass-fed butter. Grains and flour foods made from grains, including bread, breakfast cereals, cookies, pasta, crackers, pastries, and donuts, are packed with refined carbohydrates. Because they rank high on the glycemic index, they rapidly convert into glucose in your bloodstream. Any excess sugar is then transformed into fat and stored in fat cells, particularly as visceral fat beneath the belly. Even whole grains can produce this effect. They also contain phytic acid, an anti-nutrient that interferes with the absorption of minerals such as zinc, magnesium, and calcium. I personally recommend following a low-carbohydrate lifestyle like keto, as it helps stabilize blood sugar levels and encourages your body to burn stored fat for energy. Fructose. Fructose is a natural sugar found in fruit. It makes up 50% of table sugar and is also a major component of agave nectar and high fructose corn syrup, commonly known as HFCS. The issue with fructose is that your cells cannot use it efficiently for energy like they can with glucose. Instead, fructose is processed almost entirely by the liver. Since roughly 80% of packaged foods contain HFCS, this places enormous stress on the liver, leading to visceral fat accumulation, liver injury, and insulin resistance. Fructose damages the liver in a manner nearly identical to alcohol because it is metabolized through the same pathways. You'll find it in soda, fruit juices, jams, syrups, candy, and most processed junk foods. High fructose corn syrup is also produced from genetically modified corn that is sprayed with chemical herbicides, introducing additional toxins that further impair liver function and worsen belly fat. To protect your health, avoid these products and choose snacks sweetened with safer alternatives such as erythritol, stevia, or monk fruit. If you're finding this information useful, please hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss my latest health and nutrition tips. Soy protein isolates. Soy protein isolates are among the most damaging food additives commonly consumed today. These highly processed, low-cost plant proteins come from genetically modified soybeans grown with large amounts of glyphosate, a powerful herbicide that is extremely harmful to liver tissue. Soy protein isolates are frequently found in protein bars, meal replacement shakes, frozen meals, plant-based meat substitutes, and even some infant formulas. Soy is a major disruptor of hormonal balance in both men and women. It increases inflammation in the liver and encourages fat storage around the visceral organs. Avoid these products completely and choose whole food protein sources instead, such as meat, eggs, fish, shellfish, or water lentils. Soda drinks, regular and diet. As mentioned earlier, regular soda is loaded with both glucose and fructose, which rapidly convert into fat around the abdomen. However, diet sodas are not a safe alternative. They contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose that indirectly promote weight gain. These chemicals can cross the blood-brain barrier and interfere with neurotransmitters responsible for signaling fullness. As a result, you feel hungrier and are more likely to overeat or crave junk food. Research also shows that artificial sweeteners destroy beneficial gut bacteria. This imbalance contributes to liver damage, weight gain, depression, and anxiety. Eliminate soda entirely and replace it with healthier options. A simple alternative is carbonated water mixed with mashed berries and a small amount of stevia to create a natural, chemical-free soda replacement. Alcohol. Regular alcohol consumption dramatically increases the likelihood of developing both visceral and subcutaneous belly fat. Alcohol places an intense burden on the liver because it acts as a toxin that must be broken down and neutralized. Over time, this strain damages hepatocytes, the liver's primary cells, triggering inflammation and reducing the liver's ability to metabolize fat and sugar effectively. This leads to fatty liver disease, where fat accumulates inside the organ until there is no remaining storage space. Once full, the fat spills outward between the organs, pushing the belly forward. Alcohol must be burned first, before the body can process any other fuel source. When alcohol is combined with fructose, sugar, and refined grains, the liver becomes overwhelmed and begins leaking fluid, making abdominal swelling even worse, a condition known as ascites. If you currently have a protruding belly, improving your diet is essential, as this significantly increases the risk of diabetes, heart attacks, and liver cancer later in life. Stress and cortisol. How stress triggers belly fat. Now that you understand which foods to avoid if you want to reduce or prevent belly fat, it's equally important to recognize the powerful role stress plays in fat storage. When you experience anxiety, fear, or chronic stress, your adrenal glands release cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Cortisol rapidly converts protein tissue into sugar to provide immediate energy for survival situations, such as escaping danger. Historically, this response helped humans flee predators like lions or tigers. However, the human body was never designed to endure constant mental stress created by modern life, including relationship challenges, financial worries, and daily pressures. When stress becomes chronic, cortisol levels remain elevated, continually raising blood sugar levels. This activates insulin, which removes excess sugar from the bloodstream and converts it into stored body fat, most commonly around the abdominal region. So if you're eating clean but still struggling to lose weight, reducing stress and lowering cortisol may be the missing piece. I recommend walking outdoors in nature for at least 45 minutes each day while getting fresh air and sunlight. This calms the nervous system and shuts down the constant fight-or-flight response that drives weight gain. Studies also show that slow, calming music at approximately 60 beats per minute has a soothing effect on the body and helps reduce cortisol levels. Guided meditation is another excellent tool and is freely available online. I'll include a link below to a meditation I created specifically to promote deep relaxation. Lastly, getting a minimum of 8 hours of quality sleep is one of the most powerful ways to manage stress. During REM sleep, your hormones rebalance and reset, while increased glucagon levels support greater fat burning. For the top 12 belly fat burning foods, tap here. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and as always, I wish you excellent health, lasting wealth, and true happiness.